that. Van Jones, Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, Al Sharpton, all the racial idolaters, all the demonic, demon-possessed, anti-Jesus Christ crowd took that and poisoned the hearts of black people. Here's Van Jones and Abby Phillips, the Bonnie and Clyde of black stupidity, talking about the Charlotte train massacre yesterday. Play the clip.
Want to be there.
Yeah, and it's
about forcing them to be there.
When you are mentally ill, you have a hard time knowing that you are mentally ill. But also, I mean, people like Charlie Kirk, they've been looking for opportunities to make this some sort of like reciprocal George Floyd situation. And that's the part that I think he's almost giving away the game. And it's sad to see a lot of people going along with it.
You know, let me just say a couple of things. One is, I mean, what happened to that young woman was horrible. And it's everybody's nightmare. If you're in any public space, subway, whatever, that something bad is going to happen to you or somebody you care about. So it does strike a chord. We don't know why that man did what he did. And for Charlie Kirk to say, we know he did it because she's white, when there's no evidence of that, it's just pure race mongering, hate mongering. It's wrong. Then he says that if something like that had happened the other way, there would be sweeping changes imposed on society. Where is the George Floyd Policing Act? It didn't pass. Even when you had a white police officer murder a black man on live television, the whole world saw, there were no sweeping changes. In fact, not one law was passed at the federal level. So I think that's an important thing to point out. The other thing is, you mentioned the thing about cashless bail. I think this is a big challenge that we have. Would you have felt better if there had been cash bail and the mom had come and put down $1,000 to let him out? It's not about cashless bail or no cashless bail. It's about the fact that we don't know how to deal with people who are hurting in the way this man was hurting. Hurt people hurt people. What happened was horrible, but it becomes an opportunity for people to jump on bandwagons. And then for someone like Charlie Kirk, he should be ashamed of himself. No one mentioned the word race, white, black, or anything except him. What people mention is the horror of what happened to this young woman.
This Ivy League educated, feminine intellectual. Here's the problem. When you're dealing with these secular elites, there were no laws written. Where is the George Floyd Act? There was nothing done legislatively that did anything. Where are these sweeping changes that happened? And this is our problem when you don't look at things through a biblical lens. You can't see the wickedness. And so when you look at things through a biblical lens, you hear clearly the wickedness of what Van Jones is talking about. Because when you're a Christian, the heart is the magical place. You're trying to promote a heart change. You're trying to get people to surrender to Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior because you know that will provoke a heart change. And so Van Jones, he's a politician, he's a secular elite, he's been feminized, he's got a reprobate mind. And so he can't recognize the heart change that came in the aftermath of glorifying George Floyd. People's hearts were poisoned. Do you understand? There was a hatred infused on people in the aftermath of George Floyd. A wicked, the white man, Derek Chauvin, he represents all of white America, and they're evil and wicked. George Floyd is a Trojan horse to promote and to poison the hearts of black people. There were other changes, but nothing more damaging than the heart change in the aftermath of George Floyd. We got Juneteenth, a federal holiday. We got a doubling and tripling down on DEI programs. We had celebrities and politicians paying for bail for looters and criminals that terrorized cities, burned buildings down, killed police officers, killed regular citizens. The George Floyd deal was a poisoning of the heart. They took something that Derek Chauvin had virtually nothing to do with. George Floyd, fentanyl, career drug addict, career criminal, a year before, almost died of a drug overdose in the exact same situation where the police, the paramedics showed up quicker and he didn't die. It repeats itself a year later, and Derek Chauvin just happens to be on the scene and happens to be the one restraining him because someone called the wrong paramedics, and instead of the paramedics coming from just a few blocks away, they came from further away, and George Floyd died of a drug overdose. They took that. Van Jones, Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, Al Sharpton, all the racial idolaters, all the demonic, demon-possessed, anti-Jesus Christ crowd took that and poisoned the hearts of black people. You should hate those folks. And trust me, I will object and am going to object to the people taking this Irina situation, this Charlotte massacre, and poisoning the hearts of white people. I will object to that. But right now, I have to address and deal with the fact this was inevitable. We've been headed down this path ever since they started this Black Lives Matter garbage. Ever since CNN and MSNBC put some black feminist woman or some cucked feminist black man at the top or at the head of every discussion about race. And it's not that I want to work at CNN or MSNBC, but the entire television industry rejects people like me, wants nothing to do with a black man willing to stand on biblical principles and a biblical worldview and rebuke all of them. The only way for a black man, and I apologize to Kevin Cork and what's the young guy's name? Lawrence Jones. Is it Lawrence Jones? Lawrence something. There's what's my man's? Charles Payne. I want to apologize to him. But there's a reason CNN sets up this Abby Phillips and MSNBC had Joy Reid, and now they got the bald-headed, oversized woman, Simone Sanders? Or what? These people are installed intentionally to poison the hearts, to walk people, black people in particular, away from a biblical worldview. They want you to throw away what we inherited from our ancestors: gifts, opportunity, hope, a path forward for our children. We've thrown it all away. Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.